Radhe Radhe Govinda Govinda Radhe 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 Govinda Govinda Radhe.
Overwhelmed when she hears the sound of his flute, embrace me with love while I constantly sing Shamasundara's glories to her. May the daughter of Maharaj Vrishabhanu, who becomes astonished like a vine of golden champaka flowers when she sees Krishna, and who becomes overwhelmed when she hears the sound of his flute, embrace me with love while I constantly sing Shamasundara's glories to her. Shri Radha, astonished with the flute song. How sweet is the stage of devotion in practice when one eagerly prays for the service and the audience of the beloved deity. Even the eternally liberated associates of the Lord pray for this taste, and the Lord fulfills their prayers. Krishna told Lila Shuka, I will make you taste the bliss of living in Vrindavan in the body of a practicing devotee.
Radhe Radhe, can you hear me?
Yes.
Radhe. So here is very beautifully described how important it is that we are intensively praying. Even the eternal liberated associates are praying for that. So how much more intense we should pray as we are ordinary fallen conditioned souls. We are not eternally liberated souls. We are eternally bound souls. So as Gaurasundara was mentioning the verse of yesterday, by this intense prayer, we can unlock the mercy from Radharani. She will give us, if she can see that we are doing that with a pure heart, and if it is our real heartfelt desire to be there and to do our seva in the kunja, then she will allow us to do so. So for me, this is very beautifully described, and it's like a recommendation for us how we can get there by really longing for it and intensively pray for it, because only by the mercy of Guru and the Acharyas we will get the mercy from Radharani. So for really doing a prayer, we need to surrender ourselves to the lotus feet of Gurudev. And by doing so, we become receptive for the mercy who is flowing down through the Guru Parampara, through Gurudev to us. That means that we have to be receptive disciples. Means we have to make us receptive, means that we allow ourselves to get the mercy, because the mercy is always there, but because of our own blockages, because we are blocking ourselves with so many concepts that we have, so that the mercy cannot come. So it is on our side that we make ourselves receptive for it, that we check ourselves, what is our real desire. As Gurudev always says, that everything is dependent on our own desire. So And this also, the verse that was, the verse in itself is also a beautiful prayer showing to us how we should pray. Radha.
It's very nice that you use the word receptive, that we make ourselves open for this, for the mercy, prepared for the mercy, because there's no cause and effect from praying. If praying does not guarantee mercy, mercy comes when it comes. So praying is a way of softening our hearts, opening our souls. And when the soul is completely soft, then it's completely open for mercy. When the soul is completely soft, then that's when we're completely ourselves, completely in our soul identity. So we can't buy the mercy with the prayer. 2 hours praying, 1 liter of mercy, please.
Mhm.
There's no Amazon mercy.
Yeah. This
It's
is
softening and opening.
yeah.
And when we're completely open, then the mercy, there's no other step to take. Then we're completely in our constitutional position, completely in our soul, in our Swarup, completely with our Radharani.
Prayer is the crying of the baby for the mother, like Gurudev explained yesterday. Isn't it? That she come aware that the toys are no more touching the baby so much. And now mother knows that, well, baby really need me. I have to come. Because till now we're playing with the toys. So there is no need. We forget. And this verse, it's also astonishing what I find out that there are, we as Manjari, we are constantly sing the glories of Shyam Sundara. And we learned about that our focus is Radharani, but here we sing the glories of Shyam Sundara constantly.
We remind the Radharani of his attractiveness.
Yeah, that's it.
Don't forget what the goal is.
That's
Radha.
it. We make her happy with this. It's not that we glorify Shyam Sundara to our own happiness. No, we make her happy with this singing his glories. And she is astonished and overwhelmed when she listens his flute. And then we as her Manjari, simultaneously we sing about his glories. And so when she is this kind of overwhelmed and astonished, that moment she, out of Glückseligkeit, what is this?
Bliss.
It's a great bliss of our Swamini. She will embrace us then, because she's so overwhelmed and happy to listen the flute and listen about her hero's glories. It's really beautiful. Embrace me with love, while I constantly sing Shyam Sundara's glories to her. So beautiful.
And the one last element maybe to point to in the verse, that she's astonished, she's surprised. Here Radha, she's been meeting Mohan 8 times a day for 100 million years, and every time she's astonished at how beautiful he is. Every time is new. Every time is fresh, like it's the first time.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is a little difficult for our Western minds. We're used to repeating, and we like repeating. We're happy when we have the same thing every day. So this idea that prem grows every day, that the lover is more beautiful every day, this is something very difficult for us to feel.
I think also for the Eastern minds.
You think?
Maybe, I don't know.
I think
Japanese friends could answer this.
I think this is because the difference between the material world and the spiritual world. In the spiritual world, everything is ever fresh and new. And for the devotee, also the chanting this mantra, who is a spiritual, transcendental sound vibration, the devotee gets never satiated, because every day it's fresh and new. And so it is, new realizations are coming and we are growing more and more, and there is no end to it because it is spiritual. So in the spiritual world, where there is nothing material, everything is fresh every day, for time is no ending. And in the material world, everything has a limit. If we are on the level of our senses, then we need always something new, because we get enough one time for something. But in the spiritual world, it is unlimited. It has no limit and no end, because there is a completely different feeling. There is no like time and space that we know it here in the material world. And I think it's not only because of our Western mind, it's because of our material concept that we have. So therefore, if we are reading all these beautiful literatures who give us a picture of what it is to be in the spiritual world, we can change our own mentality, our own conceptions of what is what, because we get an idea how it is in the spiritual world, and even that we have an active role there as a manjari, a maidservant of Srimati Radharani. This has to be our goal, the exclusive service to the lotus feet of Srimati Radharani. That means to be one-pointed in that. We have no other interest in anything else. And if we are one-pointed and we can fix our goal, the seva in the kunja, then slowly, slowly we will reach it. It is a process to get there. It is not so easy be done overnight. As Gurudev also says, this is not an accomplishment we can accomplish in one day or in 1 week. It takes some time. And being in the process, nobody knows how long it will take. So we have to be patient with ourselves. And the most important thing is that we remain within the process and we never give up. And Gurudev is our navigator who is navigating us through the goal. The goal is Radha Mohan. He says that all the time, that Guru is not the goal, but he's helping us to reach the goal. And the important thing for us is that we accept that help and that we let guide us through the goal.
There is no sound, Udavji. I cannot listen you. What happened? You are muted? The others can hear?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, no. Now it's coming.
Another problem of Einstellung.
Ja. Wir haben die falsche Einstellung.
The devotee who feels the pangs of separation from the Lord is in the same condition as a housewife whose husband is on a journey. Such a faithful wife does not go to other people's homes, doesn't attend public festivals, and doesn't make up her hair and dress nicely. She simply sits at home, crying out of separation from her husband. In the same way, a devotee who feels separation from the Lord, gives up all sense enjoyment, his heart melting completely. The sweetness and beauty of Radha's service is incomparable. Shripad weeps, may Shri Radha, the ocean of qualities, be manifest in my heart. So may she appear in my own heart. Suddenly, he gets a transcendental vision. It is nightfall, and Shripad, in the form of a maidservant, is engaged in Srimati's service while she stays at her in-laws' place, Yavat. In a distant forest, Shyamasundara plays his flute. This sweet flute song is like a mantra, which attracts everyone's minds. Sri Rupa Goswami says, Shri Krishna's flute is like Indra's thunderbolt that pulverizes the mountain of Radha's patience.
Wow.
As soon as Shri Radhika hears the flute, she loses her patience, and she becomes stunned and astonished, like a vine of champaka flowers. Astonishment is the result of rasa. The essence of rasa is astonishment. Without this, there is no real question of rasa.
No.
This is Alankara Kaustubha in Kavi Kanapura. Because Sri Radha is stunned, she will not be able to run out and meet Krishna anymore. She is a champaka vine with very amazing attributes. Although an ordinary champaka vine illuminates the forest with its golden beauty, the bee will not land on it because its honey is bitter. But Shri Radha is an extraordinarily qualified champaka vine. The Krishna bee is eager to drink her honey, and therefore he calls her with his flute playing. But who will give Shri Radha, who has lost all her strength, although she is the root power, the Mula Shakti of God, who will give her the strength back to go out and meet Shyamasundara? By Shri Radha's grace, her maidservants are most expert in this. They give her her strength back by singing sweet songs to her about Shyamasundara's loving pastimes.
This is so beautiful.
That's so beautiful.
It's very beautiful. And we can learn from this that Shri Radha's grace here in this, that means she was teaching the maidservant before how to sing, what to sing about Shyamsundara's glories. The same way she is also teaching her own glories to the maidservant. So the maidservant are expert in singing the glories of Shri Radhika. For example, when Mohan is not conscious about when he is in, what is it in English, in vain? No, in swoon.
He faints.
Faints, yeah.
He's fainted, yes.
Without consciousness. And so then there is only one thing what even Swamini cannot awaken him. And so she teaches the Manjari to sing about her glories. She cannot sing about her own glories. So the maidservant sing about her glories. And then he will come back to conscious. And in the same way, we listen here that by Shri Radha's grace, her maidservant are most expert in this. So she teach also how to sing about Shyamsundara's glories. So they are expert in both. It's very very beautiful to see how much expert the maidservants are by Sri Radha's grace. And so she is stunned. She cannot move. It's a similar situation when Mohan is not in conscience. They cannot meet. And the same is when Radhika is stunned in this way. They will not able to meet. And so there is the need of the Manjari. Our seva is very important under all circumstances.
She's tired. She doesn't, it's in terms of energy, you could say, as well. She's tired and she needs the Manjaris to give her energy to go out. So it reminds, that, of course, Radharani is the embodiment of pleasure-giving energy. But
Yes.
This energy flows also through the Manjaris. And when she's tired in her pleasure-giving energy, it doesn't have the energy to go out and find Mohan, then she needs the Manjaris to give her the energy. And this is what we do too by our service. We give energy to Manjaris and to her.
She is astonished and overwhelmed. This is what you read in the verse.
Yeah, no, it says she lost her strength too. But yes, you're right.
So she is not able to move because she listened to the flute, and in that moment she is overwhelmed and astonished, and she cannot move. The sweet flute song is like a mantra which attracts everyone's minds. And you read, Sri Krishna's flute is like Indra's thunderbolt that pulverized the mountain of Radha's patience. As soon as Sri Radha hears the flute, she loses her patience and she becomes stunned, and astonished, like a vine of champaka flowers. The essence of rasa is astonishment. But also it's astonished that the Manjaris don't have this reaction by listen. They also listen to flute, but they don't get stunned like Swamini. So this is, for me, is astonishing. Why is the Manjari not gets? Huh? What?
No, go ahead, please.
No, please. Whatever, say.
I was just going to say that the essence of Ras is astonishment. This is the surprise at the newness of Ras, of the juice, of the pleasure. It's a beautiful thing. It's a positive thing. It's not something that which I say weakens her.
So, yeah. Actually, we are the shadows of Swamini, and we are really like a part of her, but our rasa is different. Our rasa is seva ras. So this is, because of this seva ras, we are not get stunned by the flute song. We are still able to serve our Swamini so that she will be able to meet Mohan. This is the goal. Their meeting, and our service is to make it possible like this. But it's still astonished that the flute song, you read that is like a thunderbolt. Well, how is it? What is pulverizing the patience of our Swamini is not touching us in this way.
Yes, because the Manjaris have no interest in meeting with Krishna.
Exactly.
Because it's Radharani's Krishna. Therefore, she has a different feeling about that than the Manjaris. Because the Manjaris are only concerned for the exclusive service to the lotus feet of Sri Radhika. They are not interested to meet with Krishna, as Swamini is, but they are concerned to prepare her and dress her and decorate her so nicely that her Shyama will be very satisfied with her by meeting. So I think it's because of that the influence is not the same, or it doesn't touches the manjaris that way that Radharani is touched by the flute playing.
That's the point. But everyone is touched by this flute song. All the gopis, all the sakis.
Yes, because they also have the desire to be with Krishna.
And manjari desire is different, huh?
Yeah. Yes, I mean, exclusive service to the lotus feet of Sri Radhika. It says it's exclusive only for that purpose. No other purpose is there. Therefore, they are like 11, 12 years old, and the gopis and the sakis, they are older. So there is a different feeling. And because of that, Srimati Radhika can keep the manjaris very close to her, and they feel the same as Swamini feels, because they don't have that attraction towards Krishna. For example, some sevas, they are very expert in doing the seva. For example, one time Krishna was painting the breasts of Srimati Radhika, and his hand started to tremble because he was so overwhelmed by that situation that he was not able to do a nice painting and decoration. So then the manjaris came and sent him away. They say, go, you cannot do that. We will do. This is not for you. You cannot do. So only the manjaris can do that, or can behave like that with Krishna. So that means that the manjaris have an exclusive position. Also, they are in the kunja. Only the manjaris are allowed to be in the kunja. No male is allowed to be in the kunja. So if we want to have a relationship, then we need a spiritual body, a manjari body. Only with our manjari body, with our particular individual seva that we have within the kunja, we can have a relationship. With this material body, we cannot have a relationship. In the spiritual world, we can have relationships in the material world because we have a form. So in the spiritual world, we need also a form. Without a form, we cannot have any relationship. And only if we have a form, there can be such feelings like separation. How we can feel separation from something that we don't have any relationship. So relationship is very important. First, we have to know our spiritual body, our seva, and in the spiritual world, within the kunja, either there we are not independent, because there is our Guru Manjari who is giving us our seva. So in no point in time there is a question of being independent. That is an illusion to be independent. If we want to be independent, means that we cannot surrender. And if we think that we are independent, then we are fruitive workers. And that is not what we want to be. We want to be in a seva mood. And to come to that point, the first thing that we have to do is to surrender. Surrender to the holy name. Surrender to the lotus feet of Sri Guru. Surrender means that we give ourselves. And when we are giving our heart and soul, then we can be guided by Gurudev. Here and in the spiritual world by our Guru Manjari. When we are coming into the kunja, the first thing what we are doing is we washing the hands and the feet of our Guru Manjari, and then she's giving us our seva. Our seva may not be always the same. The Manjaris are always doing that what is needed at the moment. It's not functioning. It's defect today.
It's defect. Okay, I don't know. I was
Yes,
he negative. Also, macht es immer den.
So for
as soon
us,
as Shri,
sorry.
please go ahead.
Yeah, this is a very important thing that we become personalists. We are personal to each other because especially in the Western world, impersonalism is very common. And we can see that also between devotees also happening because we are used to be impersonal. But this Gaudiya Vaishnava culture is all about personalism. So we are supposed to be Das Anudas, means the servant of the servant of the servant, means to be kind and loving to each other. How we can be that in the spiritual world when we cannot be it here? So we have to learn so many things and purify our heart by the process of hearing and chanting so that all the unwanted things from our heart will disappear and our heart becomes like butter, loving and caring. This is Vaishnava behavior, means that we are loving and caring to each other. We are concerned for each other, that anyone, each and every one of us can make the progress who is required to get to the goal. And real caring is coming from the heart. We can see this in Gurudev, how much he is caring for each and every one of us, without any consideration, without any judging. He's accepting us as we are with all our faults and all our mischief and misbehavior. This is the meaning of unconditional love. And that would be very favorable for us if we can cultivate this love within our heart. Because it's all about loving at the end. Srila Prabhupada many times says in his books, it's a loving, this bhakti path is a loving devotional service. He never says fearing devotional service. So we should really come out of all the concepts of this Vaidhi Bhakti and come into the spontaneous, loving service. And our Gurudev is the perfect example for that, how to live and how to follow. He shows us how to love and what it's all about. The only thing that we have to do is to follow that and to cultivate that culture and that love in ourselves.
As soon as Shri Radhika hears the flute, she loses her patience and becomes stunned and astonished like a vine of champaka flowers. Astonishment is the result of rasa. Rasa saras chamatkaro yam vina narasurasa. The essence of rasa is astonishment. Without this, there is no real question of rasa. Because Shri Radha is stunned, she will not be able to run out and meet Krishna anymore. She is a champaka vine with very amazing attributes. Although an ordinary champaka vine illuminates the forest with its golden beauty, the bee will not land on it because its honey is bitter. But Sri Radha is an extraordinarily qualified Champaka vine. The Krishna bee is very eager to drink her honey. And therefore he calls her with his flute playing. But who will give Sri Radha, who has lost all her strength, although she is the root power of God, Mula Shakti, who will give her the strength back to go out and meet Shyamasundara? By Sri Radha's grace, her maidservants are most expert in this. They give her strength back by singing sweet songs to her about Shyamasundara's loving pastimes. With the brush of love, they first draw a picture of Shyama's sweet pastimes on the slates of her own hearts. Sorry, I think again. With the brush of love, they first draw a picture of Shyama's sweet pastimes on the slates of their own hearts. And then they draw that picture on the slate of Radha's heart, reviving her like expert artists. So the manjaris, the maidservants, make the picture in their own hearts, the picture of the pastimes of Radha and Mohan. They tell the story in their hearts on the pictures. And by doing this, they give the picture to Radha, and then she takes her strength again. So their hearts are closely connected. The picture that they paint on their own hearts by remembering the pastimes are then painted on the heart of Radha. Babaji goes on, blessed are Radha's maidservants. How expert they are in their service. By describing playful Shyama's pastimes to emotional Radha, it is as if they bring him right before her eyes. Srimati cannot tell whether she hears about Shyam or whether she actually sees him. Srimati cannot tell whether she hears about Shyam or whether she actually sees him. Slowly, her inertia disappears and she regains consciousness. Shripad makes Shri Radha bloom with joy by sprinkling her with the sweet nectar of Krishna's pastimes and makes her fit again to go out and meet him. There are all these different forms of art. There's music, there's singing, there's painting, there's storytelling, all these kinds of forms of communicating, which communicate through feeling. There's no mathematics. The Manjaris don't make a mathematical equation to show Radha to get up and run back out to her Mohan. It's all forms of transferring feeling. When Sriman Mahaprabhu, who had taken Sri Radha's mood, became overwhelmed by feelings of separation from Krishna, he was similarly revived by Ramananda Raya and Svarup Damodar. In the daytime, the Lord could find some distraction by performing his regular duties. But at nighttime, the pangs of separation became very intense. Ramananda Rai then recited verses to him about Krishna's pastimes, and Svarup sang songs. It's a very nice reminder that Mahaprabhu was when he was in material body, he was in ecstasy, always because missing Krishna, because separation. And in material body, then Ramananda Rai and Svarup Damodar were his manjaris. And this is why we sing and make music and chant, to encourage our Swamini, to give her the energy of our feeling. Now Babaji continues, the maidservants are the best doctors to cure Srimati's disease of separation from Krishna, from Mohan. Srimati has personally taught them all these expert services. Srimati's mind and body were first unfit to go out and meet Mohan. But because of the Kinkaris' wonderful service, she is now able to go. Srimati is very satisfied, and she will give a reward by casting a merciful glance at her with her beautiful eyes and embracing her with love. The maidservant feels completely blessed with such a reward. By embracing her, merciful Swamini has given herself to her maidservant. Who else can be so merciful? Bajjai moana venu vrindavana yave kanu nandera nandana shyam rai. Shunya venura dvani shyamadara shandani pagalini sayadikaya. When Sri Radha hears Shamraya, Krishna, the son of Nanda, playing his enchanted flute in Vrindavan, and when she sees him, she becomes mad and runs to the direction where she hears that flute. Sahasastambhabhavode chammatkritangi hoye viparita pulake purita. Champa kalatika sama angalata nirupama bhava bhusane vibhusita. She at once becomes stunned out of astonishment. The hairs on her body stand erect, and her vine-like body resembles a champaka vine, adorned with the ornaments of ecstasy. Enno kale kubehai vivalangi radikaya ekinkare marama bujiya sudha sanjivane nama hari lila guna grama shunnai bekitana koriya. Oh, when will this maidservant understand overwhelmed Radhika's heart and glorify the names, pastimes, and qualities of Hari that are like reviving elixir to her. Prita hoya vinodini madis ishvari takurani amare kuri biyalingane ette kula la shamone purna ube kotadina Shri Pada Prabodhananda Bhani. Vinodini Radha, my mistress, will then lovingly embrace me. Sripad Prabodhananda says, when will this desire of my mind be fulfilled? And with that, we complete the commentary of verse 19.
This is also a beautiful meditation for today, Udavji. This embrace of our Swamini. The maidservant feels completely blessed with such a reward. By embracing her, merciful Swamini has given herself to her maidservant. Who else can be so merciful? I think this moment is the fulfillment of our desires as Manjari. There is nothing more than this. This is the fulfillment of our Rasa.
And this last sentence is also a prayer. The author is praying for that. What he says at the end, when will that happen to me? Right? He says
this is Prabodhananda.
Prabodhananda Saraswati Thakur prays like that. So this should be a motivation for our own prayer, that we pray for that, because there is no guarantee for it. We should pray and endeavor and have a sacred greed to reach that. So this is very nice for our Lila Smarana when we are doing our bhajan, that we can go deep in this Lila and get the feeling. As you said, Uddhava, before, this is not a mathematics, means this is not a philosophy. We cannot understand that by rationalism or by mathematics, as you said. These are all feelings. This Radha Rasa Sudhanidhi is a feeling that we can get when we give ourselves to it fully, without any expectation to get something. That means selflessness, like unconditional love means I give all my love that I have to the maximum extent without expecting anything in return. That means unconditional is a real love, because this is not a business like I give that amount and I'm expecting something in return. This is not a business relationship. It's a loving relationship. Loving means I give because I want to give, because I love, without expecting anything in return. But when Swamini sees that pure love, then she cannot resist to give it back, because this is how a relationship works. Relationship means it's a giving and becoming, an exchange. It's a loving exchange. Therefore, she is so affected of the pure love of her manjaris that she will give that embrace because it's coming out of her love. Like Swamini Radharani, she wants us to be close to her. She wants our seva. She appreciates that. She likes that. Like our Gurudev, he wants us to be near to him, because like that we can get the feeling. It's a personal thing. So therefore it's very important for us that we come to Vrindavan and get the direct association of Gurudev, the association with the Dham, and the association with Radha Mohan, who are never leaving Vrindavan. So it is said that everything what is outside of Vrindavan is the Vaikuntha manifestation of the Lord. Even Mathura and Dwaraka is a Vaikuntha Vaikuntha expansion. So the Madhurya Ras can be found only in Vrindavan. So we can cultivate the Vrajabhavas anywhere in the world, but Vrindavan is the best place to do so, because Maya has no influence here in Vrindavan. She has only influence outside of Vrindavan. Therefore, for us in the Western world, it's sometimes very difficult to practice and be very serious and very steady. And to keep the good standard that we have, it is very important that we come to Vrindavan and get the mercy. So this is my invitation to you all, to come to Vrindavan as often as you can and get the benefit of being in Vrindavan, have the association of Gurudev, doing our seva here, chanting our Nam Japa, doing Sankirtan, so that we can keep that Vrindavan within our hearts, wherever we may go.
Gaurasundar, Prabhu?
Basically,
I was asked to get that. Let's say what he said. Radhisham, Gaurasundar, I just wanted to ask, are you mute?
Yes, no. Yes, sorry.
I just wanted to ask if you wanted to continue the point that you were on in reference to Swamini giving herself to her maidservant, and how that is like an essence or a culmination of success in the practice.
Yeah, this is I always try to get a point for for my daily meditation, and so I share this with you. So this is today my point of meditation, this moment when she will embrace me, and I like to feel this, and I also like to pray for this, like our Prabodhanandaji is giving example to us. So that we pray for this and we can stay in this meditation the whole day and feel her compassion towards us when we are successful in our service. And by her teaching, we will come to that point. But it's all a mercy of her. But it's a beautiful thing, and this is a real astonishing. We are not so much touched by Mohan's flute song. We are touched by when we have success in our seva towards our Swamini, and when she rewards with casting a merciful glance on us with her beautiful eyes, and she will embrace us with love. This is our goal of our service. And so, yes, this is the beauty of our morning class, that we get a point of meditation for the day. What I feel. This saved me the whole day. So let's stay in this. So beautiful.
Jai Shri Radha.
Radhe Radhe